So for this technique, we're going to look at how to zoom flash. So we're going to go outside, use a fairly simple lighting setup. So this is a Yongnuo 563 speed light, fully manual. You can pick these up for about £60. And I've got a Pocket Wizard +2 on the side there. Now the +3s are available. I use +2s because they're just as reliable, and I use them in the studio, so I've got a few of them. So with the speed lights, as I say, you can get Canon 600s, 580s for £400 or £500. This for me does just a good job, and I use this on a lot of my fashion shoots, on a lot of my wedding shoots. Purely because I shoot fully manual when I'm using flash, so I don't need the ATTL function of it, which it will do on camera, and it will do off camera with the Yongnuo triggers. But using with a Pocket Wizard, I can zoom this flash into 105. And a similar effect we've done before will give us a really definite pool of light. Now I like to have this up at about 45 degrees to the model, using it against brickwork, using it against shutters, whether it's metal, woodwork, anything like that. Anything with a bit of texture will give a really cool look with this, and quite a high fashion look. So we're going to underexpose the rest of the scene by probably 2 or 3 stops, and bring the Model D back out with this flash. It's going to give us quite a lot of harsh shadow, with it being a single light technique, but that's something I like to shoot, and I like to shoot with one light and have quite a lot of contrast and quite a lot of shadow in the image. So we're going to head out now and shoot this technique. So as I said before, we're using a Yongnuo flash with a Pocket Wizard trigger. I've got one on the flash and one on the camera, and I'm just using a dead simple light stand. So this is just a Bones light stand with a cheap flash attachment. Again, £5 off Amazon, doesn't have to be that expensive. If you can, sometimes it's worthwhile doing this with a mobile light stand, aka someone else who can just hold it. It just gives you that bit more freedom. But we're just going to pop this up in a flash, bring it up at about 6.5 foot, just above my head. We're going to have it at about 45 degrees to our Model D here, okay? And we're going to have it angled, feathered slightly away from the wall. And all we're looking to do on this is create a little bit of a hot spot just above D's head. So to bring the light in here, it's going to cast the shadow down. And obviously, depending on which angle we've got this light, the closer we come to the wall, the longer the shadow is going to be. The further we come away from the wall, the more flat the flash is going to be. So I've got this set on half power, the flash at the minute, and zoomed into 105mm, which is the furthest it'll zoom in on this flash. So down at half power, I'm shooting at 1/25 of a second with f11 to start with, and see what we'll get from that. So what I'm getting from this is you've just seen is a really cool effect. It almost looks like a street lamp that's coming down in a nighttime situation, which is giving us a pool of light. As you can see, the flash in a portrait format, so that pool of light's quite channeled. Now I could angle this slightly and change it around, but I'm not going to because I really like that look. So we're exposing really well around D's head and D's chest, and it's coming down and feathering off towards the feet. But it gives us a really cool effect with this texture of the brickwork behind. So I'm just going to move the flash ever so slightly round at a shallow angle, which is going to give us a brighter light. Now all we've got to be conscious of in this case is that the light's coming directly from this side. We've got no light whatsoever coming from this side. Because our shutter speeds are 1/25, it's quite a dull day today. It's not going to be enough to let much ambient light back in on this side, so we've got to be conscious of where that light's coming from. So what I'm going to do, just to give us a comparative image, is I'm going to drop my shutter speed down to about, we'll go 1/80th, and just let that little bit ambient light start to creep in. The sun's over that way, I think, behind the cloud. I can just about see it. So we're going to let some of that light creep back in on the other side. What we're going to do now is just change positions and show you another couple of different techniques we can do with this. So what we're going to do now, change Dee's position. We're going to bring her off the wall and actually have her sitting down on the curb here. And the idea is we're going to bring our shutter speed back up to about 1/160th, f-stop of f13, ISO 100. And we're going to light flash from D, we're going to light D from a similar position, coming down at about 45 degrees. What it's going to do is really darken everything else down. So the look I want for this is for it to be in night time. Literally D sitting on the curb, end of the night, chilling out. So I'm just going to do a quick comparison to show you the normal zoom at 24mm against what we've been doing at 105, just to show you how the light spills and sets differently. Now comparatively, you can see from the flash, having that 24mm, it's spreading all over the place, but don't get the same direct effect we get as having it at 105mm, which is hitting deep perfectly, underexposing everywhere else. At 24mm, it's spilling all over the place and we just don't get the same effect.